Today, big time eaters, we are going to be ordering every single banh mi at this Vietnamese restaurant, including some spring rolls. Stay tuned.
Let's go roll around.
Big time eaters, welcome back. As you can see, we got all the banh mi's here. We got a plethora of rolls.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is only the first challenger. We got spring rolls on the way after we review all of these. But now, I see a lot of buns in front of me. Let's go ahead and dive in. Let's get rolling.
Let's get rolling. Starting with the first
one. The pork loaf, the jambon, and the liver pate. So let's go ahead. Unravel. Perfect, crunchy, crispy baguette. And layers upon layers of flavor. Let's go in. Cheers.
Cheers. First thing I noticed is that ham. It is so good. Just, you know, that deli turkey meat style. And then you get the nice refreshing bite from all the vegetables. Then the jalapeno. Everything's really good.
Absolutely. Incredibly flavored. When it comes to sandwiches, the Vietnamese have got it down to a T. The layers of the meat bring excellent flavor. The crunchiness of the exterior of the bread that breaks into just fluffy, perfect bread, and the jalapeno brings a nice level of spice. Really good for the first bite.
Moving on to the second.
Okay, round two. The grilled pork looks to be marinated, smelling a little bit sweet. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow.
What can I say? Pork side of a sandwich doesn't get better than that. Nice barbecue flavor, a little bit of sweetness, still crispy bite on the inside area. So it just feels like it soaks up all that barbecue juices, and then you just get hit with all of the refreshing bites of the rest of the vegetables. Excellent sandwich.
Elements are still firing on all cylinders. The pork itself has a nice smokiness, caramelization to it, and a little bit of char. Really good pairing for the sandwich. Ladies and gentlemen, we've arrived at round three, the grilled chicken. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow.
Nice juicy flavors on that grilled chicken. It's almost like someone's uncle was back there whipping it on the barbecue. That's really good grilled chicken. Sweet, nice spice from the jalapeno too. Same sentiments as the rest.
Incredibly savory flavor in the chicken. It's like a punch of umami. I don't know what they season it with, but it's seasoned very well. As far as the other elements, they're still there, firing on all cylinders. Really good.
We have the next one, garlic butter beef. Let's give that bad boy a taste.
Cheers. Wow.
Oh my gosh, the garlicky taste. Something about just garlic just reminds me of times when I was rolling in garlic fields and I just kept rolling and just didn't stop and I just kept going. Nice, delicious, savory taste. Excellent sandwich.
The beef is marinated in some sort of sweet marinade, but then that garlic butter shines through, bringing that nice, funky, earthy flavor that garlic brings. Is really good. And just taking a moment to speak about banh mi in general, the elements that comprise it are this nice, super fluffy, almost hoagie sandwich roll. And then typically it's either mayonnaise or the liver pate, then it's served up with daikon radish and carrots, and then loads of cilantro for freshness. As far as we've come, they've all executed perfectly.
Next, we have the lemongrass tofu one. So,
it's looking nice and juicy as tofu can be.
Yep, indeed.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Oh wow, that tofu, the marinade that they have inside of that, it's like almost like sauteed onions and some other stuff in there, but the flavors, wow, it's like punching me in the face right now. Like I'm getting knocked out. Javante Davis, like that's really good though.
So it looks like they use some sort of fried tofu and then it's marinated in that lemongrass flavor, and that is what just punches you right on the forefront. And then you get that nice creaminess after you go through the exterior of the tofu. That works really well in the sandwich format. Big time eaters, we've got the spicy Korean beef. Looks similar to the garlic beef, but it looks like there's kimchi actually in there as well. So let's go in. Cheers. Oh, wow.
Oh yeah. That one is really good. It's reminding me like almost like that K-Philly we had. This is like a good rendition of a Korean style banh mi. That beef and the kimchi flavor, that's what stands out to me. And it just melts in your mouth. Excellent.
That sweet beef in contrast with that little spice, a little bit of vinegar from the kimchi actually works really well in this sandwich. Satisfies with that.
So moving on to our seventh banh mi, guys. This is the jumbo egg, which is a huge egg. And yeah, need I say more?
This one's another traditional offering, another vegetarian offering. Put a bunch of eggs loaded up and looks like you get a bunch of creaminess of the egg. This is like Vietnam's egg sandwich. And right before we cheers, the owners were actually so nice to give us some of the Vietnamese coffee, which is coffee with condensed milk over ice. Let's give it a taste.
Cheers.
Oh, wow.
Iced coffee for you.
That's really strongly flavored coffee. That'll keep you up all night, but it's really good flavor.
Delicious.
Perfect pairing with some banh mi. Cheers.
Guys, something about just having a standard plastic egg in your sandwich hits the spot. Nothing too much, nothing crazy, but just an egg does it well. Nice cream in there too. I wonder what it is.
I think that's just mayo.
Oh, you had me at mayo. Guys, excellent sandwich right there.
I agree with Denzel. The egg allows you to focus more on the other elements of the sandwich, like that daikon radish, that carrot, so that sweetness shines through, a little bit of spice from the jalapeno, and then you can focus on the bread a little bit more too. Really solid pairing. We've got sandwich number 8, the meatball. You know what this is reminding me of? Almost like the Philly cheesesteak, just looking at it, because it's ground up minced meat with onions in there. Or reminds me of the Akiway, the chopped cheese in a way. But let's go ahead and dive right in. Cheers. They hit a flavor factory in this pork meat. A minced meat mixture with onion, then you get that sweetness. The seasoning they use in it is just perfect. Oh man, it is extremely flavorful.
This is it. I've landed on cloud 9 with just one bite. So much flavors, like Ezra was saying, and it's just loaded with meat. And I don't know, I think I just fell in love with this sandwich. My new favorite banh mi.
Yep, love at first bite, as they say.
As they say. Unfortunately, we gotta move on to the next though. This is the ham and pate, and it's loaded up with ham.
Absolutely. Layers on layers of ham. This is the ham lover special.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Smoky, sweet. Wow, that ham is incredible.
The pate, delicious, so much flavors. Wow, and I got a big jalapeno right there. So I'm fighting back right now. But really good sandwich.
The difference between this one and the first sandwich we tried is you can taste so much more of that ham flavor. And the S1 gets a little bit overshadowed by the pork loaf, but this, it's allowed to shine all the way through. Really good. Next up, we get the opposite end of the spectrum. This one's fully pork loaf. Look at all those layers just perfectly wrapped in there. Cheers. Whoa.
Huge, meaty bite when I bit into that. Literally, layers on layers on layers. It's like a cake of layers. Really good pork. Nice, thick, fatty pieces. Wonderful.
The pork loaf has some really nice textural on there. The crunch, the bread is really good. But I think, me personally, I do like the pairing of both of them together, the ham and the pork loaf. Both good on their own, but better together. Kind of like me and Denzel.
Yeah, exactly. Good on their own, but the collaboration is just a symphony.
Absolutely.
Our final banh mi sandwich. This is the fish cake. I love fish. I know Ezra loves fish too.
So, yeah, you can say that.
Let's go in. Cheers.
Mmm.
Nice fishy taste from that one. Super potent, super strong, straight out of the ocean. That's really good. And then everything else pairing with it. Yeah, the aroma is really fishy, but I'm loving it.
Really strong fishy flavor, so not for the faint of heart. But the texture of the fish cake itself is very spongy. It has a nice bounciness to it. I really like that. And then on the exterior, it has a nice crunch, almost like a fried onion texture. Really good. So, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the banh mi round. We were not expecting this, but something special is coming up next. Stay tuned.
Big time eaters, the special meal has arrived. We have pho, some crawfish, and some bread. They were very gracious to bring us this, and I'm excited to try some.
Not expecting this at all. I mean, we were planning to try the pho and other dishes another time, but the owner saw us reviewing all the banh mi and all the spring rolls, brought all this out. So we're here to try it. So breaking it down over here, we've got the pho baguette. This is what I like to describe as kind of like the supreme pizza, the every topping in the bowl, because they give every cut of meat, a little bit of tripe, a little bit of meatballs, brisket, everything that's good is in this bowl. And then in the middle here, this is their actual special of the day, be some sort of crawfish served in a broth with some corn, and they hooked it up with some bread as well for dipping. And then over here,
that is the oxtail pho. Same garnishes on the inside, and also we have topped everything with the bean sprouts, basil, and jalapenos. Except for I didn't put jalapenos because I'm scared.
a little squeeze of lime. It's looking fantastic. So let's go ahead and hop right in.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
At the snap of my fingers, I will summon more food. And we have summoned another dish.
Wow, it's gotten bigger and more timer, ladies and gentlemen. This is the bun buwei. So this is kind of like the cousin of pho. So it's a beef broth, but it's spicy. And they also use these thicker round noodles, and they've served it up with a big pork rib, some of that Vietnamese pork loaf, and then some tender slices of beef, and then garnish a bunch of Thai basil. We've got our work cut out for us. We weren't expecting, but we're getting bigger and more timer, dude.
Let's start with the pho.
Let's go in.
I'm going for that
Wow,
broth.
it's absolutely loaded. Denzel's right. You got to try out the broth first before anything else. Looks nice and clear.
That broth with that meatball. Broth and meatball combination. That's wonderful. It's warm. It's cold outside. It's raining, but this is warming up from the inside to the out.
Very clear, very beefy, meaty broth. It has this tinge of sweetness to it. It's really good. Now I'm going to try out a meatball myself. Bouncy, springy. I love the Vietnamese meatballs.
That's what loves balls in his mouth. Okay, and this piece right here.
I'm going to let you escape. All right, cheers.
Cheers. They're going at the same time.
Oh wow, the noodles just drink up that broth and are just infused with the pho flavor. I'm really loving how they serve it up with so much beef and so much broth and noodles. You could just eat this and you'd be extremely full.
Super filling, guys, but yeah, fatty meat, all around, excellent pho. Move on to the next one.
Absolutely loaded with huge chunks of oxtail. Look at that, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Or
You
cheers.
just gnaw on that the whole time.
Absolutely. Might have to abandon the chopsticks and just gnaw.
Oh, wow. Tender flavors on that. That is so good. Literally, it has absorbed all the broth. That's excellent. I'm about to absorb this whole pho dish.
Oxtail is definitely one of those sleeper cuts of meat, one of those off cuts. When it's cooked right, when it's braised, steeped in a broth, oh man, it just falls apart. So tender, so flavorful. One of the best cuts of beef.
Let's move on to the crawfish.
Yeah, let's do it. To be honest, I'm not very well versed in eating crawfish. I know you're like supposed to pull the tail and just eat that. Is that what you do?
So you basically become the conqueror, right?
Okay.
And you annihilate the crawfish. First you start ripping it out. This is how to get graphic.
Sounds violent.
This is gonna get graphic. It's too graphic for YouTube.
Pull the tail.
And then you blow its back out.
Oh, okay.
You get all that meat.
And I assume with shrimp heads, you suck the head.
Yeah.
Pause. All right, I'm gonna try some of this. Oh, wow. That's really flavorful. Nice sweetness. The broth is a little bit spicy. That's really good.
Spice, nice. There's actually, when you eat the head, there's actually like a kind of tart, bitter flavor, but that's from the outside of the shell. You get a little bit in it. Really good though. Meaty, juicy bite on the inside. Now, gotta try that broth as well.
Yeah, I gotta marinate that. Trying to peel this tail so I can rehydrate with some of that broth. Give that a taste. That's really flavorful. The crawfish meat is very sweet. Tartness, like Denzel said. And that spiciness of the broth. I mean, I want to just rip a piece of bread.
See how it fares.
Yeah. That is so flavorful.
Bread, it's nice, airy, and it's perfect for absorbing all that spice. It's like a Cajun crawfish boil.
Absolutely. This is like a fusion of cultures in a way.
It is.
Really good. The last challenger of this round, the bun boy. So I'm really excited to give this a try. I'll try out the broth first.
Start that over here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
A little bit spicy, a little bit fishy. The broth is definitely very different from just a standard pho broth, but it's really flavorful in its own unique way.
Super different, like Ezra said, from a traditional pho broth, but nice spice on it, and it's just, you could taste the juices from the meat like oozing into it. It's really good. Now I'm excited to go in for that.
Yeah, these noodles look really good too. I'm gonna give these a try. Nice bounciness, springiness on the noodles. That's that pork loaf. I'm gonna try that too. Cannot go wrong with the Vietnamese pork loaf. It's like a little sponge that just drinks up the juices of the broth. You can see it's like layered in there. Really flavorful.
Literally absorbing everything.
Let's try this rib out. Oh, wow. I'm loving all the additions that they got to their pho, the bun boy, the crawfish special, but we got spring rolls to review. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have summoned the rest, the final round, the dessert
round
of our meal here. And we're gonna wrap it up with these spring rolls. Starting with this is the first spring roll. We have the steamed shrimp and pork. Then we have the grilled pork. Then the grilled chicken after that. Then we have the grilled pork patty. And then garlic butter beef, steamed shrimp, and lemongrass tofu. There's a lot. I already know where we got to start.
Absolutely. Where are we starting?
With the A1.
Okay, let's do it.
We have to.
Let's dive in. And they serve it up alongside with the iconic peanut sauce. So it's a mixture of peanuts, a little bit of hoisin, sometimes some sriracha. We'll see if there's a spice or not. But this is definitely the most iconic.
Bruh.
What are you doing, bro? Spring roll, or sometimes known as the summer roll, pork and shrimp is a classic combo.
Cheers.
You
Bro, why are you
doing, bro?
violating my spring roll like that?
Oh, bro, you ain't even got to do all that. Perfectly sauced up, and then cheers, man. Super sweet peanut sauce. Nice flavor on the pork and the shrimp. But what sets this apart for me is they include a little wonton fried crispy chip in there for that extra crunch factor.
Nice contrast to different textures in your bite. And then I'm really loving that peanut sauce, guys. That peanut sauce is amazing. One way you could tell if the spring roll is gonna be good is if the peanut sauce is good and they got it going with that sauce.
Absolutely. All right, number 2, this is that grilled pork, I think, right?
Yep.
Dunk it in the sauce.
Seems like they put the crispy fried wonton in there so you get the crunch on all of them, which I'm hoping it's all of them because it's really good like that.
And that pork, I think it's that same pork we had in the banh mi. It's the sweetness, that char, really flavorful. Grilled chicken.
Yep, I believe so. Chicken is nice, juicy. Goes well with all the vegetables. Peanut sauce complements it.
Absolutely. Out of all the spring rolls we've tried so far, the chicken has just a nice, simplistic flavor to it. Nice juiciness, rotisserie flavor. Really good. Now this one is one of my favorites. That grilled pork loaf is super sweet, super flavorful. It almost looks like Spam in a way, but it's definitely very different. Cheers.
Cheers. As was right, very reminiscent of Spam by the looks. Not just by that, but the texture on it too. The way it's made, it's flattened, almost rolls off your tongue, easy to eat, delicious.
Super flavorful. I like that. It does have that little bit of grill on there, a little bit of char for that extra flavor, that Maillard reaction, as we know. And this one, out of all of them so far, the nice balance of all the flavors. It's like a sweet symphony of flavor. I believe this is the garlic butter beef.
Yeah, and this one looks loaded too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Melts in your mouth. Really juicy too. Like surprisingly, a lot of juices is exploding out of that. Pause.
The garlic butter beef, like Denzel said, has a lot of flavor, a lot of juiciness, has that same sweetness, but also that earthiness of the garlic flavor. Perfect pairing. Okay, scrimps. Scrimp pack.
Yep, shrimp pack.
All right.
So yeah, rolled it. Cheers.
Okay.
The shrimp is like the good old classic spring roll. I remember eating that one as a kid. The matte flavors, and then you dip it in the peanut sauce, and then that's where it all comes from. Right there, nostalgia.
I 100% agree with Denzel on the nostalgia factor. I remember my mom, when we were kids, we'd just make tons and tons of shrimp spring rolls with the peanut sauce and then go have a picnic. It's perfect. And I think this one took first spot as far as clean, nice, subtle flavor. Just that fresh shrimp, freshness of the vegetables. Really good.
Final contestant right here.
This is the last one. I'm very full.
I
I already know this one's gonna be really good because we had it in the banh mi. This is the lemongrass tofu.
Cheers.
Cheers. That lemongrass just hits different, man. Has a citrus flavor, earthy flavor, and the creaminess of tofu. Perfect.
The thing I like about this is the tofu in there is fried, right? So it's very crunchy. It's hardened. So good. So complete. And I'm feeling satisfied.
What can I say? I think we've finished our world tour of Vietnam. We've tried a lot of dishes. We're gonna wrap this meal up and we'll get you out with our thoughts.
All good things have to come to an end, and that food was amazing. So let's start you guys off with some of the highlights. For me, all the banh mi's were so good, but that meatball one, sensational. I love it. And the spring rolls, as far as they go, a lot of them are really good. Lemongrass, surprisingly, for banh mi and spring roll.
Yeah.
Really good. It's wonderful. Flavors knocked it out of the park, and all the famous phrases that I usually spew out. All of the above. I'm full right now. Give me a break.
That felt like we just went through a journey, a challenge. We went in thinking we were only gonna get the banh mi and the spring rolls, and we left with mounds and mounds of food. The highlights for myself, as far as the banh mi goes, I really liked the S1, just the classic pork loaf ham one with the pate. It was just a perfect, I understand why that one's the most sought after, most classic banh mi now, as well as that garlic butter beef, incredibly flavorful. The spring roll, that pork loaf, was one of my favorites. And then I've got to say, the shrimp and pork, the classic, really good. As far as the extra items, my favorite was definitely that oxtail pho. Super flavorful oxtail, incredible amounts of meat. And ladies and gentlemen, overall, it was just like a sweet symphony. It was like a whole orchestra, actually, of flavor. And with all that being said, we'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe down below. We'll see you later. Peace.